certainty whether the stock's going to fucking go up or down on earnings. I have no idea. I don't have internal data on GameStop's quarter 3 earnings. Uh, Me and nobody else has that data, unless somebody's paid for insiders to infiltrate the company and have access to that, which they do. That is a strategy used. That's illegal. Do they really get caught for it? No. This is regarding the Gex exposure from November. It is. The one I posted today, Trife, that does have to do. So if they failed a margin call on November 19th, the deposit for that margin call would be due tomorrow. If they fail to make that deposit, then there could be a margin call in the next like 5 days by December 13th. If they submitted a written request saying that the market was illiquid and they were unable to cover, then they can extend that deferral up to 60 more days. Notice all employees, the deadline for Secret Santa sign up is closing fast. Please submit your eligibility to your department head at the end of the day, including a short list of interests and hobbies to assist your Santa. Merry Christmas. Thank you, BlackRock HR. I don't think I'll be participating in the Secret Santa this year. I don't like giving people presents. You said you expect approximately 40% spike in December. What is that expectation based on? That's based on our previous run ups. August saw about a 40% increase, as did the run just now in November. I think at our peak we saw like a little above 40% IV increase. It's short lived. Don't forget that if you're playing IV, you really you're really incentivized to sell on the run and not the turnaround, right? When you hit, that's the beauty of having in the money options, is that you can play the test and resistance and the breakouts. With IV, that initial hard run, that's where you're incentivized to sell the most. What do you think about me? Can we see another run? Uh, it it looks like its turnaround is starting to begin. Still kind of unconfirmed. If you want to go long on it, this is an okay entry. I would say if you're playing that movement between the peak and the resistance, like then you'd want to confirm this a lot more. Clarence Beak says the insider info you need: pork bellies and GME APS. Would that extended deferral mean a whole lot of things piling up in the January windows? Yes. They could actually push that deferment all the way out until I believe it was February 8th at the latest. Um, Again, emphasizing the importance of those far dated calls. And if you're bullish on GameStop and you're an investor, there's no reason not to have leaps on the underlying you're invested in, right? So I mean, just good long term investment strategy would be to own leaps anyway. Um, that way you can capture growth on the underlying, as you intend to hold it for a long time. You believe that the company will be worth more a year from now than it is today, and that is what a leap says. Thoughts on the theory institutions dumping money into Chinese junk bonds at pennies on the dollar, using the face value of those bonds leverage to up their collateral even at a later loss? Very likely. Um, it's pretty common for them to. I think that's what they're doing with the short position on GME, right? I think they've bundled up the short position. sold it in a futures contract, and then they're using the credit from that as leverage on their margin. That's why our reported short interest is so low, but then out of the blue, 113%, right? And that's probably because that futures contract was exposed um, and reported during that time period, right? There's no glitches. There's information that is reported that they didn't mean to report. I mean, it is a glitch. That is true because they didn't mean to report it, but it was still reported, right? We still saw, 113% short interest on GameStop. And the reason we saw that is because something was exposed that shouldn't have been, briefly, but it was there. And that's kind of the hard part about doing all of this and what I've tried to do this entire time, which is to find the evidence in, the negative space. Dog shit wrapped in cat shit. Exactly. Sold with a golden bow. 700K. Yeah, I know. I borrow back up. No, the extension is only because of the deferment. If there is no deferment, there is no extension. December 17th does not have a deferment period. It falls outside of the window for FINRA deferments. That is just simply because of the holiday deferment that is allowed. So no, they cannot defer the other ones. This not the same way. It could be a failure of a margin call. It's possible. I mean, if you were suddenly short 113% of GameStop's float at, a loss of 2,700%, that that's like that would be really bad for your fucking margin, right? I mean, you clear it up real quick, but